America, Mike Pence.
Madam Chairman, thank you so much. Thank you for the warm welcome. If I'd known about Ida County, I'd have been here a lot sooner. Do join me in thanking the Ida County Republican Party for bringing together a fantastic day today. We're just very, very thankful. And to all those, she said she forgot her questions.
I'm ready now.
I felt a sense of relief about that for a moment.
So did I.
It's wonderful to be here with all of you. So inspired. Karen and I just took a walk among the flags, and to be in a community that so cherishes those who have served in uniform. My dad would have been 94 years young yesterday. He left us 30 years ago. He was a combat veteran in the Korean War, the U.S. Army. Karen and I are very proud to be the parents of a captain in the United States Marine Corps, and one of our unworthy son-in-laws, a lieutenant in the United States Navy. So thank you for being a community that loves those who serve, particularly when we reach that point in the flags where the labels became gold. We just think of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. For all the veterans who are here, it's a privilege to be especially with each and every one of you. We thank you and honor you for your service. And let me just say, my mom just turned 90 years young this year. And Vera, I can't keep up with my mom either. So, yeah. Give Vera another round of applause. Sheriff and all those that are here, it's a privilege to be with each and every one of you. It's a particular joy for me to be traveling all across Iowa this week with a Marine Corps mom, a 30-year elementary school teacher, a pilot, an accomplished artist, and frankly the best second lady the United States of America has ever had, Karen Pence. Let me say for just a few minutes, if I may, Teresa. Wonderful to see you all out there. Let me just say to the people of Iowa, thank you for your support. Over the 4 years of our administration, the support that we received, the prayers I know that we had from the people of Iowa sustained us through an extraordinary 4 years of accomplishment. Let me say to each and every one of you, serving as your Vice President and Second Lady, it's the greatest honor of our lives, and I want to thank you for that honor in personal life. But after we left the White House, we moved home to Indiana. We bought 5 acres and a pond out in the countryside, just north of Indianapolis. I bought a John Deere riding mower. 25 horsepower, 54-inch deck, 0 turn radius. I got a Ford Ranger, and frankly, the best thing that's happened to us is that our daughter Charlotte married that Navy guy, and our son and his incredible wife gave us not 1, not 2, but 3, honestly, the most beautiful granddaughters ever born in the history of the world. And we just, okay, there's an argument here, I'll accept it. But becoming grandparents has been an incredible joy. Our lives have been rich in the last 2 years. But the reason we came to Des Moines, not long ago, and announced our intention to seek the Republican nomination for President of the United States, is because I think this country's in a lot of trouble. And I think President Joe Biden has weakened this country at home and abroad. It's amazing to think how far we've fallen in just 2.5 short years. And when I thought about the opportunities we had, not just to serve this country as your vice president, but also 4 years where I was governor of Indiana, a state where we cut taxes and balanced budgets and expanded educational opportunities and choices for families and stood for our values, but also my 12 years in the Congress of the United States. Karen and I just reflected and prayed, and we felt called. You know, Teresa, they say there's two kinds of people in politics. There's people that are driven and people that are called. And this fellow over here, Ryan, has actually read the book that I wrote. Published a little bit last year. If you read my book, you find out I've done both. I've lived at times in my life younger when I allowed my political ambition to run ahead of my values. But for the last 20 years, through our service, has been an answer to call. In this moment in the life of our nation, Karen, Pence, and I just feel called to step forward. Because I truly do believe with all my heart that we can turn this country around. We can not only turn Joe Biden and Kamala Harris out of the White House, but we can expand that majority in the Congress, we can win back the Senate, and we can bring America all the way back. That's my plan. I'm looking forward to the conversation today, and I appreciate you having a chance to chat with both of us.
All
Teresa,
right.
it's all yours.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Vice President. And
Please call me Mike.
okay, that would be hard, actually. I just wanted to start with, you made mention of the flags, and as you had the opportunity to drive through, that avenue of flags is quite incredible, isn't it? And it says, for those of us who didn't know, Holstein's Avenue of Flags was started as an Eagle Scout project by a local Boy Scout in 2012. I did not know that, and has grown to over 500 flags. Each flag donated, each one bears the name of a local veteran. And I'm going to add there that I grew up an Air Force kid. My dad was 20 years Air Force. And does that mean yours too, Karen?
Well, I was,
Is that, I don't know. I think maybe just try, yeah.
I was born on an Air Force base. But my dad got out shortly after.
I see,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and mine was a Vietnam vet. As I talked to Dave, he said he turned 19 in Vietnam. And I said, my dad was there with 5 kids and an acreage at home. So different, but he kept planes in the air during the Tet Offensive. So yeah, I was pretty proud of him too. Mr. Vice President, what were your thoughts as you drove through that avenue?
I was just deeply inspired. You know, the Bible says if you owe debts, pay debts. If honor, then honor. If respect, then respect. And to be in Holstein, to see a community inspired by one Boy Scout project, paying a debt of gratitude, a debt of honor to the men and women that wore the uniform from this community. It tells me everything I need to know about Ida County, about Holstein, and about Iowa. And it's one of the reasons why we feel so at home here. If you've ever been to Indiana, you could probably close your eyes and open them up and think you were back in Iowa, because it's the same level of patriotism, the same level of honoring those who served. A more inspiring tribute. Karen and I actually jumped out of the car, didn't we, dear? We walked among the flags and looked at the names, and just couldn't be more impressed with the way this community honors your veterans.
You know, also, it just reminds us all what one person can do.
Yes. That's
You know, this was one young person who now has affected, you know, so many of us when we go through, and honored so many people, and even people just driving by, you know, get to see this and are inspired by it. So it's amazing to think what one person can do.
That is a great point, great point. So we really thank the Holstein Legion members and local volunteers that maintain that, put it up. Let's give them. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question, and it's the idea that being President of the United States is truly the most powerful person in the world.